God has been trying to reach you for the last 48 hours, are you ready to listen? Don't miss this urgent message meant just for you. Click now and open your heart before it's too late. Sometimes, the most crucial messages in our lives arrive at the most unexpected moments. Right now, you are standing at a crossroads, and this is one of those moments. For the last 48 hours, God has been urgently trying to get your attention. This isn't just another random message. This is a divine communication from the Creator of the universe, crafted specifically for you and your situation. Think about it. How many times in the past 2 days have you felt an unexplained sense of urgency? How many moments have passed where it felt like something important was trying to reach you, but life, distractions, or even fear got in the way? God has been speaking. But the noise of life has kept you from fully hearing Him. Right now, He's asking you not to walk away from this message. You're on the verge of making a decision, one that could change the direction of your life. And God wants to intervene before it's too late. The fact that it has taken 48 hours for this message to finally reach you, that's not a coincidence. It's a sign of how deeply important it is. Please, don't turn away now. Don't ignore what God has been trying to say. Because this message may hold the very key to your next steps, your breakthrough, and your destiny. If you ignore it, you may miss out on something that God has been preparing for you, something life-changing, something that could shift the entire trajectory of your life. But if you listen, if you allow this message to penetrate your heart, you will see that God has been orchestrating something big, and you are at the center of it. Section 1: Why this message took 48 hours to reach you. Might wonder, why has it taken so long for me to receive this message? Why? Now the answer lies in the spiritual battle that has been waging around. You see, whenever God tries to communicate something important to us, the enemy works overtime to block it, distract us, or cause confusion. The enemy does not want you to hear what God has to say, because he knows that if you receive this message, you will be empowered, strengthened, and equipped to make the right decisions for your life. For the past 48 hours there has been a spiritual struggle over your attention, your focus, and your heart. God has been patiently working to break through the noise, the chaos, and the distractions that have been keeping you from hearing Him. But now in this moment you have an opportunity to silence all the distractions and hear the voice of God clearly. Think back to the past 2 days. How many times have you felt overwhelmed, confused, or uncertain? How many times have you felt pulled in different directions, unsure of which path to take? That's not a coincidence. The enemy has been trying to cloud your mind and make you feel disconnected from God. But God, in His infinite love and patience, has been persistent. He hasn't given up on trying to reach you, even though it's taken 2 days for this message to finally get through. The truth is, God never gives up on us, even when we're distracted, even when we're overwhelmed, and even when we're not paying attention. He continues to pursue us. That's what makes this moment so significant. It's a reminder that no matter how far you feel from God, He is always reaching out to you, calling you back to Him. Section 2: The bad decision you're about to make. A warning from God now that this message has reached you. God is urgently warning you about a decision you are about to make. Whether you realize it or not, you are standing at a pivotal moment in your life, a moment where the choices you make will have lasting consequences. God is not delivering this message lightly. He knows that if you abandon this message and proceed with the decision you are considering, it could lead to a path that will bring heartache, regret, and unnecessary pain. God sees the full picture. He knows the outcome of every decision you make, and He's begging you to reconsider. The Bible says in Proverbs 16:9, in their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. You may have good intentions, but God wants to establish your steps and guide you in the right direction. He knows that the decision you're about to make will lead you away from His best plan for your life. You may be asking, what is this decision I'm about to make? How do I know what God is warning me about? The answer lies in your heart. What have you been wrestling with lately? What choices are you facing that have been causing you anxiety, uncertainty, or doubt? It could be a relationship, a career decision, a financial move, or even something that seems small or insignificant. But no matter what it is, God is saying, pause. Don't rush into this decision without seeking my guidance. Sometimes the decisions that seem the most urgent are the ones that require the most patience. God is asking you to wait on Him, to trust that He knows what's best for you. The enemy wants to rush you, to make you feel pressured to act quickly without thinking, but God's timing is perfect, and He's asking you to take a step back, pray, and seek His wisdom before moving forward. Section 3: The consequences of ignoring this message. If you abandon this message, if you make this decision without consulting God, the consequences could be severe. This is not meant to scare you, but rather to open your eyes to the seriousness of what's at stake. God is not a God of fear, but He is a God of truth, and the truth is that the enemy is trying to lead you into a trap. It might seem like the decision you're about to make is harmless or even beneficial, but God sees the bigger picture, and He knows that this path will not lead to the fulfillment, peace, or success that you're hoping for. In fact, it could lead to the opposite, a season of struggle, disappointment, and frustration. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 14:12, there is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. This doesn't necessarily mean physical death, but it could mean the death of dreams, relationships, or opportunities. God is trying to protect you from this outcome, but He can only do so if you listen to His warning and trust in His guidance. Ignoring God's voice is always a dangerous choice. When we choose to go our own way, we step outside of His protection and provision. It's not that God stops loving us, but when we make decisions that go against His will, we often end up facing the natural consequences of those choices. God doesn't want that for you. He wants you to experience the fullness of His blessings, but that requires obedience and trust in His plan. Section 4: God's promise of redemption and grace. Here's the good news. Even if you've made wrong decisions in the past, God's grace is always available to you. He is not a God of condemnation, but of redemption. If you turn to Him now, if you heed this message and surrender your plans to Him, He will redeem every mistake, every wrong turn, and every poor decision you've ever made. In Romans 8, verse 28, we are reminded that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. No matter how far you've strayed from His plan, God can and will turn it around for your good if you choose to trust Him now. This is why it's so important that you don't abandon this message. God is offering you a way out, a path to redemption, and a future that is filled with hope and purpose, but you have to be willing to lay down your plans and trust in His God's grace is sufficient for you too. Corinthians 12:9 No matter what you've done or how many mistakes you've made, His grace covers it. All He is not angry with you, He is pleading with you because He loves you. His desire is for you to experience the fullness of life that He has promised, but that can only happen if you choose to listen to His voice and follow His lead. Section 5 What happens next? God's plan for your future. So what happens next if you choose to listen to this message and follow God's guidance? He will lead you into a future that is filled with His goodness, peace, and provision. You may not see the full picture yet, but God is asking you to trust Him. He is a God who never fails, and His plans for you are good. Jeremiah 29:11 says, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. This promise is for you. This message found you for a reason. Don't let another moment slip away. If you feel the pull in your spirit, it's because God is still speaking. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to let heaven know you're ready to receive what comes next. Your destiny is waiting.